Decay, 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 no!
Hi guys, and for today's video, I'm going to be giving you my review for number 1 Sentai, Gozyuger. Without further ado, let's begin with the review. Okay, so the episode opens up with an epic narration telling us that all the Sentai mechas were fighting in this epic battle against this super Omega evil force, this super powerful evil force, and it costs all the Sentai mechas or teams or whatever to basically sacrifice their powers to Tega Sword, which is our mecha for our Red Ranger for this series. But Tega Sword manages to stop the darkness, super powerful threat, darkness, or whatever kind of force, and basically, you know, wins and went in Tega Sword, went into like sort of a deep slumber, but also scattering all the Sentai powers and the powers of our main ranger slash team for this series. And then we cut to a convenience store where our main character Tono works at, and he's, you know, he's basically sort of a live for life type of character. What I'm trying to say is our main character Tono, he's sort of like a doesn't care kind of guy, just goes with the flow, sort of like doesn't care about life and just gets by life just doing whatever. So he works at a convenience store, and there's a little funny banter with his coworker Setsumi. He's the guy with the glasses, and they have a little bantering going on there, and then the convenience store gets robbed by a mugger or a thief, and the thief, or you know, the robber, sorry, I should say robber, tries to rob the store and basically took a jumbo frank, or basically a hot dog on a stick, and you know, tries to rob the place. And then our main character Tono just be's a badass and just, you know, shows off his skills, fighting skills, and basically saves the day, saving, you know, his boss and his co-worker Setsumi, and also, you know, the other like people at the convenience store. And of course, like there's a little funny gag where he's like, I'll take my payment with, you know, these jumbo franks, and the boss is like, you're fired, get the fuck out of here. He doesn't say that, but he just essentially says, get out of here, you're fired. And so then we cut to Tono, where he's living at, which is a cafe. He lives with this family that sort of, you know, takes care of him and provides him with a home and their cafe. And so, you know, he's going to do another job interview. And so Tono just, you know, heads off for his next job interview, and he gets interrupted by a street gang, and the street gang's all pissed off that, you know, Tono got into a fight with one of their members. And so Tono's like just sighing, and then we cut to a scene where Tono's just taking, you know, a beating by the street gang, but you know, Tono just doesn't care. Like, again, he doesn't really care about things. And then we cut to him meeting up with his former coworker at the convenience store, Setsumi. And so Setsumi just, you know, tells him, you shouldn't be so reckless. Come on, let's go to the park or something. Let's, you know, get a bite to eat or something. And then we eventually cut to the main villains, or at least the villain, you know, hideout, and we see our two main villains, or at least villains that we see for the first episode. One of them's literally named Fire Candle, and the other person is basically sort of like a Lolita type girl, or sort of like I forgot her name, but I know the other guy, which is our first, you know, bad guy for this episode. Fire Candle, or, you know, something title, insert long title there, but basically they're talking about how, you know, they're gonna conquer, you know, this world, basically the world, you know, Tega Sword created or whatever. And basically, you know, they're gonna conquer the world. You know, typical Sentai villains, you know, stuff. And, you know, our our villain gets our male villain for this first episode gets ready to, in his, evil mecha, gets ready to, wreak some havoc. And then we cut to the park where we see Tono and Tatsumi are chatting. And Tatsumi, dream is to become, a famous singer and just, make good songs and, be popular singer. And then he asks what Tono's dream is. And Tono's like, I don't got a dream. I don't got anything. I just don't care, really. I don't care about anything. And Tsumi is like, well, dreams keep you living and keep you motivated and, such things. And, that happens. And then we see our villain, shows up and in his giant evil mecha. And he also summons, our sort of foot grunts or grunts for the series, which are sort of these bell type looking grunts. And then, the city gets an attack. Civilians are getting attacked. And so, Sutsumi and Tono are shocked. But Sutsumi pulls out, the morpher for this series, and he transforms into Katagawa Ogre, which is the Red Ranger from King Ogre. So Sutsumi transforms into, Katagawa Ogre and starts fighting, the grunts. And then we see Tono is, still shocked, but also Tono gets teleported to another, realm or another, location. And he's at the Sentai Mecha Graveyard. That's what I'm going to be calling, the sort of mecha graveyard that he's in. And we see him fighting a ring, which will be his transformation, device, or at least, part of the transformation device that, he will get. And at first, the villains or the grunts, tries to take the ring, but eventually, it doesn't work. And then so the ring chooses Tono, and we see our female villain. That's the Lolita-looking girl, and she says, "You don't know what power that ring has. It might kill you." And Tono's like, "I don't really care. I could die either way." And so Tono takes the ring, and then he gets, transported into sort of this realm, and he meets, Tega Sword, which is our, Red Ranger mecha / sentient, mecha or whatever you want to call it. And so Tega Sword, offers him, a wish, or at least a wish. His wish will be granted if he, becomes a ranger, or at least, he will fulfill his wish in the future. And so he offers him to be number 1, and so Tono accepts the offer, and thus Tono returns to the city, and Tono uses his newfound powers to summon Tega Sword, which is his mecha, and he gets inside the mecha, and we get this sort of epic mecha fight scene between our male villain and Tono, and Tono is in Tega Sword / his mecha. And it gets over the top, and I love it. We get sort of this like this wrestling or fight ring sequence, and it's so over the top and bombastic, and I freaking love it, guys. Trust me, guys. It is freaking bombastic, and I love it. So we get a fight scene between Tono and our male villain, and eventually, Tono does defeat our male villain, and the male villain retreats. And we get to see, Tono looking at the civilians are in danger. So Tono hops out of, Tega Sword / his mecha. And he transforms into his ranger form, Goju Wolf. And it's freaking awesome. The transformation sequence is awesome. Love the transformation jingle for the morpher. And so he transforms. He starts kicking ass. And he starts, saving, civilians. But also, beating, the grunts' ass. And then, and the grunts try using their attack on Tono, but Tono uses his final attack on all the grunts, and he manages to defeat the grunts. And then we cut to Tono and Tatsumi are talking to each other, and eventually Tono repays Tatsumi for the yen. He repays him for the yen that Tatsumi buys him like sort of a sandwich earlier when they were at the park before the attack happens. And Tatsumi is like, you're not supposed to be a ranger. I'm supposed to, be number 1. I'm supposed to, be the guy, the main guy. And so Satsumi transforms into Katagawa Ogre again, starts fighting Tono. Tono then transforms, and then the episode ends off there. Holy crap, guys. This was a phenomenal first start and a first good episode. I love the pacing, love our characters so far that we get, love the world building that we are getting for this Sentai, for our new Sentai series. Love the anniversary aspect, and I just love the first episode, and this was a good solid first episode and first introduction to our new series. And yeah, other than that, this was a solid start, and yeah, it was pretty damn good. Other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it for my review for number 1 Sentai Gozyuger. And other than that, I got some things I want to say. I did delete my playlist reviews for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The reason why I deleted it is simply because I don't want to keep reviewing Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man in the current, episode by episode format that I'm doing, like I did for Kamara Gav, and now what I'm doing for Gozyuger. I decided I'm gonna do a full-on review of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and just one big video, just talking about the series in general, talk about the characters and what I like and dislike about the series. Again, I'm gonna do a full-on review, big video on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So no more individual episode reviews. I'm just gonna do one big review for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And as for other stuff I want to mention, I am planning on continue catching up and reviewing Kamara Gav. I am going to be posting my Kamara Gav episode 17 pretty soon on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And as for other stuff, make sure to stay tuned for more Transformers videos and Tokusatsu videos on the channel, as well as more non-Tokusatsu related videos and content on the channel as well. But other than that, that's going to be it for my review. And make sure to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing to the channel, you'll be really supporting me as a content creator and really supporting the channel. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.